Hey, what's up everyone? Today I'm going to make that kind of a video, but I think it's very important since I get asked what kind of gear should I buy? Should I buy this lens or this lens? But I'm going to give you 6 reasons why you should possibly buy some kind of 50mm lens. And when you're just getting into photography, one of the biggest lenses pushed on you besides buying a camera with a kit lens is get a standard 50mm lens, most likely an f1.8. That being so, there are several reasons, and I'm covering them here obviously, and going a bit beyond and more practical real world type of stuff as well, but here's 6 reasons. One of the biggest things that jump out, and that's why I kind of listed first, is that they're very, very affordable, mainly talking about the f1.4 50mm lenses. Even some of the 1.4s are as well, but the 1.8 lenses are very affordable, and that's why it strikes beginners or people who really want to kind of learn more with the 50mm, and that's where it goes. Like, for example, I have a couple of them here. On average, they can run between $100 and $250. Once again, talking about the f1.8s. And going with the Nikon 50mm G lens, you're looking at about $220 right now. That fluctuates a little bit. The Nikon, the older version, 50mm D lens, is roughly $130, sometimes $125, so around there. One of the most famous lenses out there, the plastic fantastic Canon 50mm lens, is $125, and that'll range from like $115, $125 depending on rebates. And then even Sony has 2 for around $200 or $250 going around there as well. So there's even faster lenses out there, just a bit more as well. Canon has a 51.4 for around $300, but all that aside, great options across mainly every brand for a very affordable price. That way you can really learn and use a 50mm lens. Or if you just really don't need the biggest and best gear out there, 50mm lens 1.8s really aren't that bad. And looking at this Fuji 50mm lens right here, their f2, you can see it's pretty small, it's lightweight, it's portable, and it's just super easy to travel with. And that's what most of these are as well. They have a very low profile. They take up no room in a bag per se, and you just have a lot. Now, there are a couple exceptions like Sigma's 1.4. That's a relatively large lens for what it is. Phenomenal lens too, but a lot of these 50mm are even smaller than this, a little bit wider, but they carry very easily. And that's just it's more discreet and less room in your bag. 50mm lenses are super fast as well, hence they're prime lenses too, but you can get them in like an f1.8, f1.4, and even some come in an f1.2. You're gonna shoot better in lower light, you're gonna have that capability. You're also gonna get smoother bokeh, you're gonna get something that really looks different than just having a kit lens on your camera that can range from an f3.5 to a 5.6, 6.3, etc. Having that fast of an aperture really allows that to open up. With other factors in regards to bokeh, I'm not covering that. But with this, you have more of a capability to get that look that you want and to shoot in many more situations if you really need. Now, every lens is sharp to a point. Every lens has a sweet spot, as they say, usually around f5.6 to f8 or something. But prime lenses are noted to have a bit more image sharpness and quality in regards to a zoom lens just because of the less elements and everything inside. And once again, 50mm are a prime lens, so expect it to be a little well. Now, some even are pretty decent wide open at 1.8 or 1.4, all depending on what you're using. And pretty much in any lens, the center is tack sharp if you don't mind the edges falling off a little bit, which most of you probably wouldn't anyway, especially if you're looking to get a lens like this. So the image quality, spot on. It also has a wide range of uses as well. It's one of the most versatile lenses out there, especially on a crop sensor camera, which most likely you probably buy. You can kind of get portraits out of it because of the crop factor. Allows it to crop in a little bit more, and you're getting a more enhanced look per se. It's very versatile in regards to you can use it on the street if you don't mind the tighter frame. I personally use that 50mm on my Fuji X Pro 2, and I absolutely love having that capability. So that's an awesome plus right there. Weddings, events, it's a standard lens. It basically sees as your human eye sees for the most part, and you could go from there. So you're kind of used to looking at a 50mm lens. You'll be used to it. And I saved this one for last is because I think it's one of the most important. And this really kind of goes to any prime lens, but I think it's very specific in regards to the 50mm because you do have a tighter frame, is that it really forces you to learn your composition, how to position things, use your rule of thirds, all that kind of stuff that goes in the composition because you have that tighter frame, and that's really all you work with. You have to zoom with your feet. You have to know how to frame something in regards to make it more creative. So I think that's really key, and that's one of the you know, having a prime lens like a 50 is just very great to learn on and to use, because it's going to really open you up to what's out there and to how you could shoot. Even in regards to zoom lenses, you don't always need to zoom in zoom lenses. Like for events and weddings, I pretty much could sit at like one setting, like at 70 millimeters, and just go around, or shoot at 24 millimeters and walk around a party or the event or the dance or anything, and never have to touch it again. You just focus, you know, you compose with it, and you go from there. You don't always have to be zooming, but that's why a lot of people like prime lenses and a lot of this stuff. But 50 millimeters is a very, very good choice, especially if you want to learn and get into it. But it's very versatile if you want to go past that as well. So I know it's a typical video of like, oh, 5 reasons, whatever, but I really think that a 50 millimeter lens can help out your photography as well. I mean, the audience on this channel is pretty split. I do have a lot of basically beginners, like under 18 years old, and I do have a lot of more professionals out there that kind of watch as well, or more advanced amateurs or hobbyists or people who are in the industry. So I know that that won't hit them as well, but for like the half or 40% of you that aren't doing it and you really like this type of advice, 50 millimeters is a great choice. Let me know down below, do you own a 50 millimeter lens, or why did you own one? Why did you give it up? And do you think 50 millimeters is kind of key to learn on? Let me know your thoughts about this down below, and if you think you've got another point as well, I'd love to hear it, and it'd be great to hear from you. As always, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you taking the time. Plethora of videos, you know how it goes. Everyone, keep an eye out, have a great one, and 50 millimeter on.